Thanks, Reshma. Today we're introducing a brand new segment, and it's my pleasure to be here with Dr. Raj Kanodia. From celebrities in Bollywood to celebrities in Hollywood, I just have to say you are one of the top plastic surgeons. And I want to know, what is your definition of beauty?
Good question. Beauty, I remember when I was a child, and I was mesmerized with beauty. And the beauty was not only in the flowers. Beauty was a window or a plant or a person. I think it evokes an emotion of happiness. Mm-hmm. And that's what beauty is about. It gives you a sense of euphoria. And so as far as back as I remember in my childhood, beauty was one of the most important things for me. Every culture, whether it's African or Asian or Indian or Persian, any culture we look at, there's some amazingly beautiful faces. Then there are faces which are not perfectly carved and sculpted, but there's beauty in there also. That's where I come in. And so when you see something, wow, this is a beautiful painting, but I can improve it.
And I love that you don't want to change someone's entire appearance and make it, oh, that's Dr. Kanodia's nose. You want to just enhance little parts of it just to bring out the beauty so that everyone can see.
That's the heart. That's the heart,
beautiful.
Is to be able to recognize the character of the face, mm-hmm. the personality, what God did or the parents did, and to be able to go there and just tweak it. So you did not take away the character of the face. Right. You just preserved it. So the friends and the family, they don't know what I did, but they say, wow, look at that. I mean, I say jokingly the difference between a $2 painting and a $50 million painting, it's not the paint, it's not the brush, it's not the canvas, it's the artist.
And you're known as the nose guru, and you've done not only just celebrities, you've also worked on very astute business VIPs. And how do you feel that it's becoming more accepted in society today?
There's always been a stigma in our society to say that I had my nose done or I do Botox. I don't know why there's this guilt about being beautiful. Everybody loves beauty. Human eye catches all the bad work, bad lips, bad nose job, bad everything, bad facelift. Yep. They go, there's something wrong with that. There's something, and that's what you see, and that's what plastic surgery gets a bad name.
And your technique for rhinoplasty is much different than other techniques. Tell us more about why this technique is different and how it's also better for you.
The last 20 years, because it's an easier technique to teach, you cut it at the bottom of the nose. It's called the open rhinoplasty. You peel the skin of the nose, then you're looking directly at the frame. You do stitching of the cartilage, sculpting. Yeah. The perfect nose is for that face, and it has to fit the face. And you have to really understand what's beautiful about this nose, what's beautiful about this face. Let's try, right. Yeah, you were right. Right side, the septum is twisted. And I would say about 30-40% twist, and that's the extent of blockage you have. I like your face. I think you have a very pretty face with the eyes and there's very good balance. When I'm looking straight at you, I go, you don't need anything, But then when I look, give me a profile shot. Yeah, so the nose sticks out just like mine. And I do everything from inside, so there's no cuts. So my technique is called closed rhinoplasty. So, that being the case, do the surgery from inside, which is called closed rhinoplasty, because you're not inflicting a scar outside. Mm-hmm. And you're able to lift the skin, work with the framework, and the skin just glues back to itself. Least amount of trauma inflicted. My patients can go out, day 6, I take the bandage off, and they can go out for dinner with their friends and family, and nobody would know that we did nose surgery. And there lies the art. There's the closed rhinoplasty, that's mine. Mm-hmm. And the open rhinoplasty, you are making a cut, and that takes time to heal, and it's about 3 to 4 weeks of disability for that nose to heal. Plus, you are stuck with a permanent scar.
And what is usually the age range of people that come in to get their noses done?
A lot of the 16-year-olds from all over the world somehow they probably have a 16-year-old club or something. They know about my technique and subtlety and the finesse of it. So I get these 16-year-olds coming from all over the world, from Chicago to Kuwait to Saudi Arabia to Moscow to India to, and it's strange. Even when I do conferences and I show such young patients and beautiful patients, and most of the surgeons will say that your before patients are better than our after patients, because somehow you draw all the most beautiful patients from all age groups, particularly the younger ones from all over the world.
And what about when it comes to Botox or fillers or lip injections? How young can that go?
So sometime even at 18, you have to have the person express their expressions and make expressions to see if the frown lines are very deep and they're using the frown muscles very intensely. Because if you start, if you don't mitigate that, if you don't stop that, then the lines get very deep and they become like tunnel at 20, 22. We've seen that. So if you do early Botox, it sort of trains the muscle not to be frowning that much, not to be very intense at, when you're talking and when you're listening, and you can sort of modulate your expressions. Now let's go to filler. If somebody has no fat on the face because they're so lean and mean, they work out, they do a lot of cardio, and they eat really healthy, their baby fat disappears under the skin. That's a support structure. And if there's no support, the skin starts to crinkle earlier on and starts to sag because it loses support. So you have to give them fillers. So same thing, you might have to use fillers to support the skin and highlight the cheeks at age 25. And sometimes you don't need it at 30, 40.
So is it becoming more of a frequent thing for men to get plastic surgery? Or
in my practice, I'm noticing that. Wow. And it comes from 2 or 3 different school. The wife is doing it for 3-4 years. They don't even know about it, and suddenly say, you never get age. So the husband goes, what have you been doing? Yeah. And so then they suddenly 4 years later they show up. And they say, I want the same thing, you're doing it to my wife for the last 3-4 years. That's one. Secondly, men are realizing that it's a competitive world out there, and they have to compete for their job with younger guys, and they need to look young, and so they need it. The guys who work out a lot, they keep their body trim, but their face needs some filler effect.
Thank you so much for letting us be here in your lovely home.
I just wanted to give you a little tour of where I live and where I get my inspiration, and a lot of my inspiration comes from my garden. This is where I grow my vegetables and fruit and plants and vegetables, and this is beauty in the sense of plants, in terms of nature, in terms of universe, and I can get lost in here. I come out with my pruners and I'm able to shape my plants, propagate my plants, and create and enhance beauty. It's very similar to what I do with faces.
Well, that just wraps up our wonderful day with Doc Hollywood, celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Raj Kanodia. Back to you, Reshma.